We got a trio across Gilts to round out this pen, and so we're going to have 47-2, 44-1, and 43-2. We'll just start here with the bigger Gilt that's on the stick that Abby has. Getting ready to turn away from us. It's going to be 44-1. So that 44-liter Gilt is going to be a criminal intent, Jaws, skinny jeans. Criminal intent be the boar we sold to Real McCoy Genetics. He's a next intention, never before. Be a litter mate to the champion Division One barrel at the MLE. Graydon Sproul's many-time champion Gilt last summer. And I think that 44-1 Gilt's kind of been a standout in that litter since they were little. She's got that same just unique look up front, but she packs everything in a bigger package. She's a little denser made than her mate. She's dense and hairy and shaggy in terms of her hair coat, and she's got a big forearm. And for one that packs just that much raw shape and muscle and dimension into that big of a hip and pen, she's still incredibly square and athletic. And I think Gilt that's ready to show early, she's ready to show often, and still can stretch into a long show career. That's the 44-1 Gilt, one that we think's pretty high up on your list and should be rightfully so. Then the pair of them in the middle, the lighter pigmented one there, sticking her head up, getting ready to follow the stick, is going to be 47-2. So that Gilt is going to be a backbone next intention family ties. The family ties grandma would have came from Mox. The next intention mother would be a litter mate to Corey Crisis, many-time champion Gilt in Ohio last summer. And I think maybe save the best for last of these 47s as well. That 47-2 Gilt's got a big hind leg, and she can use it, and she's neat looking up front. She's long neck. She's stout-headed and still clean-jawed, and her joints and her skeleton and her athleticism are very, very good. And then at the same time, she's not just a good-looking skinny one. She reads awesome in terms of her center body, her rib shape, her depth of side's good. Get on top of her, she reads like the right kind of muscle pattern and maturity pattern for a lightweight Gilt or a young Gilt at this age. And she's another one I think can be ready to show pretty early and pretty quick if you want to jackpot her, and at the same time can be an absolute monster when it's all said and done, and she's a big girl, whether that be late August, September, October, or well on into the fall and winter. I think another very high quality one there in 47-2. And then the maybe the pound smaller Gilt in the pen here, the kind of thin belted one, is going to be 43-2. That's a next contestant, never before Annie up. Grandma was our $21,000 Hildy Exchange purchase a couple years ago. Would have raised Sprang's champion light cross and reserve Royal Bear in Ohio, and is the mom and grandma of a bunch of winners, not only at Hildy's but at our place as well. Her mom would be a litter mate to the mother of the reserve Division 5 champion bear at the High State Fair last year, the champion light cross at Texas National, the reserve at Red River, and the champion Division 1 at Arizona National. So an incredible sow line, and that 43-2 Gilt in her own right, I think maybe a pound smaller, but man, if that doesn't bother you, I think there's a lot of good in this one. She's got large limbs, she has an awesome hind leg, she's got a neat look, she's got just a bunch of just hair and shag and density, and at the same time, she looks like another one, not to sound like a broken record on this trio, but she looks like she could be ready to show pretty quick and pretty early and be very competitive early on and still stretch for a long time, and one that's built right at the ground that you could kind of push and shove on her if you need to gas and go and make her big early, but at the same time has enough in terms of just natural shape and dimension and spread that you can kind of sit on her and show her when she's older. So I think an incredibly big show window on this Gilt. I think a very, very high quality one, awesome pedigree, and a very nice Gilt. So that smaller Gilt there is 43-2. Next contestant, never before. The bigger Gilt in here is 44-1. That's a criminal intent Jaws. And then kind of the lighter pigmented one is 47-2. It's a backbone next intention family ties.